JANELLE, the Jimi Hendrix cover of her album, Orumi. And she's here now. She's been making music since she was 6 when she started performing with her mother's dancing troupe. She's recorded all over the world ever since then, yeah?
Yep.
She's now in Australia as part of the Blues Festival up in Byron Bay. We're very, very proud to have her. Please, Shake and Bake, can you play something sick Ray as she walks down our corridor? Angelique Kidjo.
Beautiful, good to sit down. Don't fall on the floor. Hey, how are you? Beautiful.
Good morning.
Hey, I want a kiss too.
How come I didn't get a kiss?
You go quick to sit down too quick. You stand.
I'm excited.
I'm gonna sit between you guys. Yeah, sit down here.
The arbitrator. The arbitrator.
Good.
Wonderful. I got you some water. I thought that you would.
No, I don't want water. I'm too cold. I'm gonna take my tea.
Exquisite, exquisite. Now, you're from West Africa.
Absolutely.
It's not a usual place, a common place for a lot of musicians to come out of. Whereabouts in West Africa?
I am from Benin, and it's next to Nigeria. It's between Nigeria, Togo, and Ghana.
How did you end up getting into music? In
Ooh,
a place
boy,
like
long
that?
story. Boy. Oh, wait. I'm in kitchen or what? No. I won't look at that one.
We're trying to entice you.
I started singing with my mother in her theater group. I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
And I continued singing with my brothers because they put together the first musical group that exists in Benin early in the 70s. So with my brothers, I used to listen to all the music that come from the Western world, from Africa, and from all around the world. So that's how I start singing. That's how I start learning to speak English through the songs.
Just miming, just
singing it
through the music.
phonetically, absolutely.
Your first album came out after you moved to France.
My first album in Europe
Yeah.
came after I moved to France, but my really first album was recorded in 1981 for African market.
How was that received?
Ooh, that was a huge one. But unfortunately, the producer just ran away with my tape and with my money. Oh, that was my first experience of music world.
Is that why?
Welcome to the music world.
Is that why you got into law? Didn't you study something?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to be a lawyer of human rights. Thanks God, not of business. And after a while in the university, I just quit because I was sitting down going schizophrenic. I'm like, law and justice, most of the time are fighting each other. And if I want to serve justice and I can't use law to serve justice, first of all, I can't take it. Secondly, what made me quit the law school is if you want to be a lawyer of human rights, you have to deal with politics. And I don't like to deal with politics at all. If I have to save somebody's life and I'm convinced of the innocence of that person and not being able to save that person because behind my back, I have a whole political scene going on and putting pressure on me, I can't live with that. So I'm like, I'm gonna do music, I'm gonna be close to the human beings all around the world more and be more useful to people by being a musician than being a human rights lawyer.
So when you went to France in '83,
yeah,
did you find it easier to open up your musical opportunities there?
Ooh, France was kind of a little bit deceiving. And when I first arrived in France, I was in a musical school and
did you put yourself through school?
I put myself through school after, I spent only 3 months at the University of Law and I just quit.
Yeah.
And I have been to the musical school where I learned classical technique of singing. And it was funny to see people asking me stupid questions such as, oh, do you ride on the back of an elephant? Do you go in the tree with your monkeys? I'm like, you guys are stupid, man. We are almost at the end of the 20th century. You're still asking me so stupid questions. Why don't you get out of your country and just look at it outside there? So it started like that, and not to be able to see, to talk to people was something very hard for me. You say hello to people that live in the same building as you, and they look at you like, why is she saying hello to me? I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
My parents say that to me.
So it was pretty tough, and my musical career started in Germany and in Switzerland and Austria before I came back to Paris.
How did you get? What led you to there? You had to leave. You had to leave Africa for political reasons.
Yeah.
How did you end up in?
Yeah, I ended up in France because Benin is a French-speaking country, And of course, I have a brother that was a student there, my bigger brother. And it was one of the main reasons my parents will let me go, because somebody will look after me, because they didn't want me to go. They were afraid of the drug scene, the prostitution scene. I knew that they were more worried about that than anything else. And when I moved to Paris, I promised to them and to myself that I'm not gonna be a prostitute, or I'm not gonna be dealing with drugs, to be able to do what I have to do. And I work with a piano player called Jasper van Hof. He's from Holland, and he put together a group called Pili Pili. That's how I started touring in Germany and everywhere. And then I came back to Paris to do my own
So you've
thing.
always been independently?
Absolutely.
And you found that's given you the biggest freedom to express yourself?
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Jasper, what I learned with Jasper van Hof is to write under pressure. When you get to studio, nothing is ready, nothing. He just have an idea of a chord somewhere.
Like recovery.
Angelique, what do you think about it? I'm like, about what? You have nothing. And he's like, listen to this. Or what? And you listen to it, Jasper, this is not music, this is nothing. He said, make up your mind, find something. I'm like, oh, God. And then you start singing something, you go, right there, hold it, hold it. And he play. And then that's how we do the songs. And it's kind of good experience for me, because I always write my song before I get to studio. So I get that from him, writing under pressure and bringing ideas together.
Your album, this is your latest album.
Yes.
Aremi,
Your fifth
Yes,
album.
indeed.
There's a Jimi Hendrix cover on it.
You like that, huh?
Yeah, that was amazing. We just saw it. How come you did that without guitars? Because it's, I mean, it's
It's Jimmy.
considered.
I mean, Jimi Hendrix for me is one of the best guitar player ever exist.
Yeah.
And 8 years ago, when I heard that song that a friend of mine played for me, I wanted to make a cover of it. And I was wondering how I'm gonna get that cover done my way, my tribute to Jimi Hendrix, because he's saying that he's a voodoo child in the 70s, being one of the rare black rock and roll star, and claiming being a voodoo child, while everybody knows that voodoo have always been having a very bad press. And me coming from a voodoo country, because the voodoo originally is from my country. Yeah. And years after, I just wanted to say, you were not wrong saying you were a voodoo child, because there's nothing wrong saying you were a voodoo child. And I wanted him to play the guitar. And he's dead. But am I gonna do it? I'm gonna I'm gonna sample the track and put it there. I don't want it. I want it live. And if it's not possible live, I'm a singer. How can I make these guitars sing and sound? And I figured out that I have to sing it. That's how I make it like that.
Well, your music on the album is really eclectic. I mean, you're combining at least 4 different languages on there. Now, how do you find that being bilingual in your music helps?
I speak so many different languages. Sometimes I speak 8 languages different.
8?
Yeah. So for me, I just follow how the song comes to me. And when I start writing a song, the language comes. Sometimes it's a language I don't speak, and I can hear it at the back of my head, and I'll go to see the person. If it's in Portuguese, I'll find somebody that will help me to write that in Portuguese. I will learn it and make those words mine. And that's what I like about music. Music have nothing to do with, I mean, what kind of language you speak, where you come from, what kind of color you have, what you eat. I mean, it's just total freedom. I mean, it brings everybody together, and sometimes we don't learn from the simplicity of music.
Well, thanks very much for coming in, Angelique.
It's a pleasure.
Very, very exquisite to meet you.
Thanks a lot.
You're out here as part of, oh, you're doing a bit of a tour as well, but you're tonight.
Tourist?
Tonight and tomorrow. No. You're a tourist. I saw you taking photos before.
Me? You see my ghost, not me.
Exquisite. Byron Bay tonight and tomorrow for the Blues Festival, and then you're over in Sydney on the 5th and 6th of April.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks very much for coming in.
It's a pleasure.
Right now, we have a single from New York band Fountains of Wayne. The single is off the album, which will be released in a couple of weeks on the 19th of April, Utopian Parkway. Here is Fountains of Wayne with Denise.